Hey, what is up, you guys? It's Justin. Before I do get started, I wanted to thank you guys for making me a part of your day. This video is going to be Call of Duty Black Ops 6 multiplayer. It's going to be a domination game on the map Nuketown. And I was playing a little bit, so I was trying to get some challenges done, and it was kind of an assault rifle headshot challenge. And I was debating whether or not to put this gameplay up, but I think this kind of explains why I don't really play Black Ops 6 anymore, or at least as nearly as much as I used to. So we're going to talk about skill-based matchmaking. So I don't think that skill-based matchmaking is necessarily the worst thing in the world. So if you don't know what that means, it's basically the game determines what level of skill I'm at or whoever you are at, and it tries to place us in similarly skilled players in the lobby right now. The biggest issue for me is that, as you can see, my ping is at 78, 77. It kind of fluctuates throughout the entire game. But I guess my issue with this, there's two issues with this and that I have with this, and it kind of makes me not want to play this game. The first issue is that I never get my ideal ping. So it's the ideal ping for me, because I live in Hawaii, is I think it's Southern California, and the lowest possible ping that I can get is around 55 milliseconds. So to me, I should always get 55 milliseconds. There seems to be plenty of servers that are available in Southern California for me to get a ping of 55 milliseconds. Now, that's with crossplay turned on, PC players, PlayStation players, and so on. I rarely get that. So I will, in other games you've seen, I probably got 90 to 100 millisecond pings, which in certain games it doesn't matter, but in Call of Duty, because you kill so fast, it's basically the difference between whoever sees the person first, whoever shoots first, and so on. So they can literally turn around and shoot me. So that's one of the reasons why I don't play, because skill-based matchmaking wants to lock me within mine. My pool is more narrow than, say, if they were to open it up and not have skill-based matchmaking. But that's not actually the biggest beef that I have with it. The biggest problem that I have with it is that it pairs. I don't know what the game's rating, or skill rating for me is, but it seems to think I think it thinks I'm a lot better than I actually am. That's another thing as well. So there is a way to see your skill rating. Okay, and I went to the Activision website and I put in the request. I never got my stats, so I actually don't know what my skill rating is. But I've tried like 3 or 4 times. It keeps saying you put in your request, and then it gives you gives you like I don't know what the word for it is, but it's definitely a rating of skill somewhat, right? But I've seen kind of other players that have it. I've never seen mine. But just by kind of the way you see me play this game, I'm trying very hard to win this game. The problem with the team balancing is that it pairs me up with. I play solo a lot too, so I wish there were a mercenary type game mode. Because if there's not, what happens is that I end up getting paired against parties. So if you don't know, it is difficult playing against as a solo person. To play with people that are supposedly equally skilled to me, it gives me players that are they're not very skilled. So that's the main one. It doesn't seem to balance the teams out correctly, especially if I'm playing solo. I don't know why it does that, but towards the end, or when I check the scoreboard at the end, you'll see the discrepancy in the score. And it's basically like I have the highest score if you were to label all of the players from top to bottom, by far. But then the other team is like second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then my team is next. So it's really frustrating when you try to play, and I'm trying really hard to play this game, and it's very frustrating to play and to lose a game or to lose many games. This is actually like a normal thing for me. So this is what it looks like when I play Black Ops 6, like uncut, unfiltered, right there. Like I played 4 games tonight, which isn't a lot, and this was my second game. And so, I know the ranting, it seems like a really long rant for me, but I'll go ahead and stop there. But that's essentially what Black Ops 6 is like for me every single game. And so there are games where maybe, I want to level up guns, which is tough to do when you're playing against, the meta of all these. Like in this game I'm using an XM4, which is a pretty good gun. I think it's the best gun in the game. At least it is in Warzone. I don't know how it is in multiplayer, but it seems to be pretty solid. It's essentially the M4 from Call of Duty days. Like so this is taking place in the early 90s, and I think it's the M4 before the M16 became the M4. So just keep an eye on the score. It's going to be kind of a close game, and I guess I'll give you the spoiler alert. We don't win the game. I 100% thought we were going to win, And you can kind of see when I start turning it on. I have a kind of slow start at the beginning of the game, but then I try really hard to bring it back towards the end. So I guess updates with the channel. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. This is kind of I'm in a strange place now because I used to have kind of a plan when I did this. I would write kind of the outline of what I was going to talk about or what I was going to do. Right now, I don't even know what game I'm trying to figure out that I want to play. So I know Warzone is by far my most favorite game that I want to play. But it just looks like it's not going to happen because of the way. So if you don't know what happens, Warzone every year gets updated. It's because they try to integrate whatever Call of Duty is coming. So in this case, they integrated Black Ops 6 into the Warzone, and they're not the same. I think they're the same engines, but they're not the same mechanics. So they're trying to add things like the Omni movement and the slide into Warzone, and it's just a clunky mess right now. So you're trying to add things together. So I wish they would keep it separate and just make Warzone its own thing because it's free to play anyway. But I think the reason why they don't do that is because they want players to have an incentive to buy Black Ops 6. Because if you buy Black Ops 6, you can level up all your weapons in multiplayer like this, and then you can take it into Warzone where the free-to-play players can't level it up nearly as fast. So, I mean, I think it's predatory, but, you know, that's how they got to make money. If you're locking behind paywalls to sell your game, I don't think that's the best way to do it, but I could be wrong. I have had, everybody's saying Fortnite Zero build is one of the better games out right now. I just don't have kind of the bandwidth right now to play many different games. Marvel Rivals right now I'm really happy with. I would like to play the other games, but I just don't know how that's going to be integrated into what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to play games and record everything that I do, and then if I get a gameplay that's worth watching or I have a topic that's worth talking about, then I'll go ahead and upload and put it on here. So I guess speaking of updates, I know it's been a while since I last uploaded. I would say that I'm kind of similar skilled than I was before, but I just don't usually have the party to play with now. So a lot of like I'm watching this gameplay right now with you guys back, and when I'm playing, it doesn't look like I'm doing it that fast. But now that I'm watching it like from the secondary or I guess third person view of me playing the game and me watching myself play the game, like I'm looking at it, I can still aim and snap pretty quick, so that's not a problem. My aim isn't the best, that's the only thing, but that can be fixed with time. And so I think I kind of want to play this game some more, but I just don't know how I'm going to do it. Verdansk, so for the Warzone players out there, Verdansk is what's going to be coming back into Warzone, and a lot of people are kind of waiting on that. I actually think it's like Warzone's last hope, and they're waiting for this. It's probably going to come out in March, and once Verdansk is back, I don't see it going well, but I could be totally wrong. But I guess I can kind of tell you about me, like what's been happening. So in 2018, I moved to Abu Dhabi, which is in the UAE, and I couldn't bring a lot of my stuff, so I had to buy an Xbox over there. And so this is before the Series X came out. And so I had a really great time over there. I'm actually contemplating moving back over there because right now, the original reason why I moved there was because where I'm from, it was the election of 2016. It wasn't really going really well for people like me. It just wasn't a fun place to be around the United States at that time. And so now the election of 2024 going into 2025, and I think if I could go back, I probably would now. I don't know, because kind of like my next future, I work in seasons. So in the fall, I got to figure out if I have a job. I'm kind of wondering what I want to do with that. So it's not totally out of the question. The tough thing is that the time zone difference is a little tough, and it's always difficult, especially at my age, getting older now, to find players to play with. So that's kind of what's been going on with me. I've been kind of just sitting in. And then in 2020 I moved to Hawaii, so that was awesome. So Hawaii is awesome. I love it here. You probably can guess that it's a very expensive place to live. And so kind of my goal was I have a pretty good job. My goal right now is to bank as much cash as possible, kind of get my retirement funds and my investment accounts kind of like getting as high as they can go. Try to just crank out some years here and seeing how that's going to go. So I'm not entirely sure. The tough thing is that if I move or if I work international again, if you're unaware, your Social Security earnings, or if you go to a place that's not taxed, like one of the advantages of working in the UAE is that you don't pay taxes. So what happens is that any money I make to like, I think the threshold's like $150,000 is tax free. So let's say I made $151,000 in the UAE, like my first 150 is zero tax, right? Then they'll tax me at $1,000, but it'll be in the tax bracket from the first one, from zero to like, I don't know what it is, 0 to 19,000 or something random like that. So it is quite lucrative. And yeah, this is where I kind of start going off. I start posting up on B. I don't know why my team is not, like, they're not playing. I know they're not equipped to like see the game. You know how sometimes when you're playing a game, like whether it's like football, baseball, or basketball, some people will just see what they're trying to do. In this game right now, I am trying to actually hold this, and this is a pretty sweet move here. Get that. I come and I clear the flag right here. So it's 190 to 194. Everybody should just die on the B flag. That's essentially what they should be doing right now. But my team is like, this guy's, I can see a guy in the top corner pushing right now. I can see a guy on B. He's chasing around in circles. They're just not, and they got B. So that's what ends up happening. I mean, the other team's playing to win too. It's not like, they're just throwing the game for us. But it is tough that, you work all the time. So as you can see, I try to let me see if I can pull this back up right here. Pull it back up, Justin. Okay, so right here my total score is 8,425, and the next player on mine is 5,885. So that guy, I guess he'd be like number 2. But as you can see, as you go down, right, our players on our side just aren't. There's people not capping any flags. There's people not doing what they need to be doing. And it's just kind of tough. So I don't know why it's like that or why people play like that, but that's just kind of how it goes. But if you made it this far, thank you for listening. I got 5 seconds left. I just want to thank you guys for listening to me rant for a while and letting me get this stuff off my chest. I'll see you later. Bye.